Hi, I'm Rosie Rodriguez. I'm the Director of Philanthropy at the Lower Eastside Girls Club, and I've been a founding member of the Clinton Foundation 2030. So thank you for talking with me today and answering a few questions about the foundation and your experience as a mother.
Well, thank you for being here. As you know, I'm a huge fan and believer in the work of the Lower East Side Girls Club. My mom and I were so excited to launch our No Ceilings work there a few years ago. So it holds a special place in our heart. And so we're so grateful you're part of the 2030 effort, but even more for what you do every day.
Thank you. It was a really special day for us at the Girls Club, and we are so happy that you were able to share that day with us. I just wanted to ask you, we're here today with Too Small to Fail, and they really emphasize talking and singing and reading with young children, even at diaper time. And I was just wondering, how did you incorporate that philosophy into your experience as a mother?
I talk to my kids all the time. And one of the funny kind of knock-on effects of that is I now just talk out loud all the time. So I realize even like after they've gone to bed, as my husband and I are making dinner, I'm like, and now I'm pulling out the pot. Like, I don't need to be narrating this to Mark. I mean, I can. He's happy to hear it. But I talk to my children all the time and really do use every moment available to engage with them. And it's really, I think, so crucially important that parents, caregivers more broadly know that every word really matters. And whether you're kind of making a meal, or you're changing a diaper, or you're putting them to bed, reading to them, singing to them, talking to them, it all helps grow their brains and help them develop as little people.
I think it's so crucial, and that's why I'm glad that we're here today, bundling packages of diapers and books and educational resources to give to parents from rural and poor communities who may not have the resources to buy those goods. And so I'm really excited that it's all benefiting their partnership with the National Diaper Bank Network. And I think today we're actually aiming to bundle 5,000 diapers and 1,000 books.
That's right.
And so we'll be delivering those to a South Bronx community through the Hope Line, which is just so amazing. And I was just wondering, why do you feel that this is so important?
Well, for two reasons. I mean, we know the diaper gap is real. For many low-income families, they can spend upwards of 10, sometimes even 15% of their annual income on diapers alone. And so kind of making a difference there so that they're not worried about diapers, but also so they can invest those resources in other things and opportunities for their children and their family is hugely important. And the second is to help parents know how important it is to talk, read, and sing to their kids, because a lot of parents don't know. And particularly when you have a newborn and the newborn is just kind of reading, eating, sleeping, peeing and pooping. Or sorry, not reading, sleeping, like just like sleeping, eating, like peeing and pooping, like it's sometimes hard to think, oh my gosh, no, I should still be reading and talking to this like little munchkin,
right,
even if she or he isn't responding yet. And so just helping parents know that diaper time, really any time that they can be engaging with their kids, even newborns, is really important.
Definitely. And I think I'm so happy to be here because, we're people like myself, young people, are passionate, we're eager, we want to give back, and sometimes we don't know where to start. And we're just wondering, like, how can we get started? Like, what's your advice for us?
Well, I think each of us has to think about kind of what really inspires us, what really calls to us, what are we passionate about, what makes us angry, and then where can we engage to make a difference. And there are so many ways in which the gift of time, particularly kind of in a well-organized group, can have a big impact. So whether that's packaging diapers and books, which we're doing today, or kind of working with food banks or food delivery services, I would just hope that anyone of any age who really has the ability to give time will give time and will engage to make a difference in our community here in New York City on kind of whatever issue they feel most passionate about.
And I think for me personally, I'm a volunteer and a mentor, and I now work with the Lower Eastside Girls Club as the director of Philanthropy, and we, connect girls and young women in New York City to healthy and successful futures. And a lot of the girls, are looking at what's going on across the country, and they're wondering, they're just like, what, how can they feel empowered to achieve their dreams? Like, how would you advise them?
One, I think it's great that they're in a community and where they have so many mentors and role models through the Lower East Side Girls Club to see examples of what they can become. Because I think it's so hard for any of us to imagine what we can't see. And so I think something that you do so well is to close that imagination gap. I think at this moment in time, I would hope that they're not afraid to stand up and speak out. I mean, even though there's a lot to be worried about and there's a lot to fear, that the best way to kind of combat that fear and that worry and channel that energy is to engage, to talk to their friends, talk to their families, to protest, to call their local representatives and congress people, our senators, our mayor, our governor. I mean, even if they're not old enough to vote, many of them will be by the next election. Definitely. So they should, raise their voices and ensure that they're being heard. Whether that's kind of on the streets or on the phone or online or hopefully all the above.
Now, our girls are definitely raising their voices and being activists in their community and marching in DC, and so we're raising the next generation of entrepreneurial, environmental, and ethical leaders, and so it's good. I'll pass that message along to them because they are looking for.
And just don't get tired, right? We can't afford to get tired, and we have to recognize that we might just be in a place of moral outrage for a long time to come, because if the last days have been a harbinger of what's to come, there's going to be a lot for us to be outraged about. So whether we're thinking about women's rights or workers' rights or LGBT rights or kind of economic rights, whether we're thinking about like equity, equality, protecting the progress, kind of building on the progress, there's a lot that we're going to need to stand up for.
Definitely. And so I'm glad that we're here today and really making a difference and feeling like we're taking action. So thank you again for
Thank you for
talking
being here.
with me.
Absolutely.
Thanks.